Hi, good evening. This is Thornholder from Top 5 Dream Development and Design LLC, and coming to you today with a very exciting episode of Top 5. Today's episode is about kids. Yes, Top 5 advice about kids. Now, kids are what is a kid? Okay, a child, a young one that has to be under the care of a parent, a dependent. Okay, dependent. That's what I'm talking about. Someone who cannot create value, or someone that cannot create a situation where they could feed themselves. Okay, so this is a kid. So number one, before I go into the list of advice, I would like you to consider that the kid is not your kid as far as you own it, like how you would own a dog, okay, or a car or a house. A kid is, it came through you and your husband or you and your wife, okay? Let's say we are all part of a connected consciousness. And when I say we are all, obviously there is separation in the word we, because it means there's more than one. So that separation is in the form of points of consciousness, or we would call identities, okay, which is consciousness expressing itself in a different way, you know, or ensuring that it continues to express itself in different ways. So when a kid comes through us, we can look at it as, or him or her, as it is the situation and not the kid, as coming through us because they saw whatever they needed to learn, they would get that from the parents, or the situations that the parents were creating. Okay, so that's a baby. Okay, it does not belong to you. You don't have any authority to make it into anything. A lot of people ask me about my kids. They're gonna play soccer. They're gonna be great. I don't know, if they want to play soccer, they have a great resource. Other than that, I'm excited about the other things because they're gonna teach me. If they do something else, if they play baseball, shit, I got a new expertise. Okay, that's how I look at it. So number one, there's no right or wrong when a kid comes into the world, or there's no right or wrong. Period. We're not gonna get into that in this video, but there's no right or wrong. So when you're dealing with what a kid does, never raise your voice at a kid. Okay, and there is never a need to hit your kid either. A lot of people think that, oh, retro, they did that in the past and it worked. Well, the minds of the individuals in the past were very different, okay, and the material in terms of the flesh, the quality of bodies we have deteriorated, okay, as a result of the foods, and the type of foods we had were right from our yards back in the day when a spanking would do you a great job. Okay, so the individual's body was different, the individual's mind was different. Okay, so now spanking may do more damage than, as a matter of fact, almost guarantees to do more damage than help. It doesn't mean that if you beat a kid, they will turn out messed up. I'm saying, you know, the beating does more damage. It might not be permanent, but it does more damage than help the kid understand. Okay, so explain. If they don't understand, no problem. You feel happy. You see, we hinge too much of our feelings or happiness on people agreeing with what we think is right, and that includes who we think belongs to us. Our kids, they don't belong to us, and they don't have to agree what is right, because they're dependents and we chose to have intercourse and a wife and a husband and so on. Then we have to keep them safe, keep them alive, and keep them fed, keep them warm, keep them ventilated if it's warm. Okay, so there's no right or wrong. Do not get angry at your kid. Do not beat your kid. Do not raise your voice at your kid. Be loving and nice to your kid all the way. And then you will see that all the relationships in the world are better because you stop being with people you think that are inferior, under your control, and you start being nice to them like they cannot do anything wrong. All your relationships improve. So that's an awesome piece of advice right there. Like, I'm reading it and I'm getting a whole wave of new download. Number 2, okay, you do not have to teach a kid anything. Okay, you teach them about man-made dangers, poisons, cars, the street, these sort of things. Okay, but as far as your kid walking, do you have to teach your kid to walk? Ask people with kids. No. I have twins. One decided to walk before the other, and when the second one decided to walk, he was walking better from the start than the first one. So they was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. I started first, but I'm better. There was no, you don't even try. They are way wiser. They come straight from God. Let's use the word God, but let's say they came straight from a more intelligent place, from the not here, okay? The place that I think that you consider you might return to, or that you already are in there and expressing yourself through this body. And as a result, not seeing what the grandness of you and the collective is seeing, but you can feel it. And that's that feeling of purpose. And that's what you use to give most of your life to a job. Because you find a small purpose there, you know, when you can find a grand purpose and enjoy your life. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a job as long as it's limitless, meaning you get paid for as much as how genius you are and how much you work, okay, and how much you contribute, as opposed to having a fixed salary and no matter how great you do, because that doesn't motivate you to do anything great, because it's going to be fixed. Fuck it, I'm not going to try, excuse my French. Okay, so I know this is about kids. I'm going to try to edit that out. You don't have to teach a kid anything, okay? Be loving and protect them and feed them, and they will teach you everything you need to know, okay? You are a spoiled kid because your parents told you what is right or wrong, and then now you live a life where, I don't want to do blah, 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 blah. I can't make decisions, blah, blah, blah. You feel bad in moments and you don't enjoy all the time, and the reason is you are thinking in your head of this idea of right or wrong. By the way, there are things that are unnecessary and that are not generally productive, okay? Like raping and murdering and robbing people is completely unnecessary. And I've never done any of these things. I've never had the inclination, and the reason is I'm trying to feel good. And when I think about what makes me feel good, enjoying moments with people and being creative and solving problems, interacting and falling in love over and over, and having great connections. So when people are in their great state and a happy state, it's not necessary to want to murder or rape. That's an unnatural thing. That's a symptom of a greater disease in a society. Or if there's an individual, there's one person in this town that ever has raped, then there's a problem with his mind, and just you could easily, wouldn't say easily, but you could easily approach the situation differently than punish and kill because rape is wrong. You know, he has a problem. Rape is completely, why would you ever do that? There's something wrong. You know, we think that man is so evil, like us, and we just jail and kill people, jail and kill. Like, why? You don't think that the person is like you in some way with a family and love and hopes and dreams, and is somewhat just has some horrible habits, and there's a horrible combination of things that happen to them that cause them to do something that heinous? Be a human and put yourself in the situation, oh, I will never. Yeah, everybody says that. So instead of saying you'll never, be a human. Be nice. You have to condone it and praise it, but see through the act and see the human and love them. That was somebody's baby. It's a baby. It's the great force. Anyway, don't have to teach your kid anything. Number 3, take your kids outside frequently and also allow them to go up to people and say hi and smile, because I've been seeing, man, my kids bring a lot of people joy, okay? Where I live, there's a lot of old folks, anybody in the mall, whatever. They just love little babies and babies smiling and saying hello and being interested. And some people, like, they keep their kid like, no, this is my kid, don't touch him, you're a stranger, you're gonna hurt me. Why? That's not how you are. The world is not like that, man. It's only a small percent of people in the world that do real horrible things, and half of those people are in an organization, like an army, or the police, or a gang, okay, or a corporation. So the regular citizens that we are, and everybody's regular. I'm just talking about people that do irregular actions. They're looking for love and looking for happiness like you. So stop being so afraid. Okay, allow the baby the space in the world and to explore and to let them know that there's more going on than what's going on within these walls. And that's why kids are in games and on the telly and on screens, is because they're thinking the world is a very scary place. So we have to stay indoors, lock it, and avoid people, as opposed to, no, get out of these walls, open your door, and enjoy people. Okay, so number 3, take your kids outside and allow them to interact with human beings. Human beings are lovely people. At the core of every being, there's something called a heart that beats blood. But at the core of every what we would say soul, which is spiritual resonance, there's also a heart. And there's also a key. And everybody's keys fits everybody's heart. But it doesn't always work. So you have to change your frequency with different people, change your approach. Okay, change how you speak to them, and so on. That's how you change the frequency. But everybody have one of those love things, those beautiful hearts. And no matter what the shell may display, the heart is inside. You can get at it, work your key a little bit, work your magic, and unlock. Boom, out comes love. Okay. Number 4, give your kids big jobs, man. Give them responsibilities that is just they want to try, and you think it's way above their head. Allow them. Encourage them, and if they fail, don't make it seem like they fail. Just say, oh, this is part of the learning process. It's exciting. Let's keep trying. Allow your kids to be awesome. Stop limiting them to functions you think are for kids. Because we are no different. We are kids with more wisdom. That's all. And some people don't even get more wisdom. Just get a bunch of bullshit information that makes them feel that they know. Okay? So be that kid with wisdom. And allow that kid to show you more wisdom. And then you work with them. And let them do big jobs. And you will see you have a genius there. And a couple geniuses. Okay, last but not least, feed your kids like super athletes. Okay? Don't feed them like babies or like yourself. Okay? Start feeding your kids like super athletes, man. Fruits, okay, provisions, carbohydrates, organic foods, a lot of hydration. Avoid Gatorade and sugar and soft drink and so on. Okay? Have a nice balance between pure apple, pure orange, and water. All the juices. Pure juices are excellent. Okay? And fruits are excellent. Okay? And water. Okay? Vitamin D, vitamin C, you can get that. Okay? Avoid too much cow's milk. Okay? A lot of people like to give their kids cow milk like it's water. No, it's a cow's milk. There's some vitamin D there that's awesome. Okay? But try to get the vitamin D from somewhere else. There's some things that occur with the human that is not intended for human. It's intended for a fucking cow. Okay? So cheese is awesome though. As an adult, you can eat cheese because you're not drinking cheese all day. But we want to give our kids cow all day. So be very careful with that. Check out some of Dick Gregory's work. Okay, he put his money into some proper investigation about milk. So check it out. Mr. Dick Gregory is an awesome soldier. Okay, blessings to you, Mr. Gregory. I would love to have a conversation with you. It would be very, very interesting. I know. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, by the way. So I know you have met some of the great leaders that were part of your movement, like Clark and so on, that were from Trinidad. So this is another one of them, man. So this is some information for your kids. There's loads of others in there. These are really important, and also these are ones that people don't consider. Okay, so this is Stoneholder from Top 5. This is your Top 5. Have a pleasant evening.